And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. And Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with rock cod Rick Maxa. We're in the Mighty 1090 studios with the one and only Brandon Hayward. And along with that, Scott Hewlett, the Bight Journal, One-Man Charters. Scott, of course, is the editor of the incredible Surfers Journal, and we're going to have more to talk about today. Maybe even a white sea bass or two. You know, it is that season, so we'll talk about that with Brandon. Stay tuned. Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the Mighty 1090.
The new Shimano Torium HG is here, and you'll be able to experience this fantastic reel now at your local Shimano dealer. The new Torium is up to 30% smaller than the previous generation, but still has the same line capacity. The smaller S compact body design and one-piece die-cast aluminum frame provides more rigidity and lighter weight. Torium now has EI surface treatment and is tested up to 700 times the corrosion resistance of past models. The new Shimano Torium HG is not only better on the outside, the inside is amazing, with a cross-carbon drag providing up to 24 pounds of drag pressure from a Star Drag reel. It has a sealed roller clutch and 6.2 to 1 brass gears. The machined aluminum handle has a larger knob to make it easy to crank in the big fish. The new lightweight aluminum spool gives you better casting and control. Available in 3 sizes, the Torium HG is the next evolution in compact, rigid, and powerful saltwater Star Drag reels. Get it now at your local Shimano dealers.
Have fun in the sun catching fish and take home $1,000 cash. How does that sound? This is Pete Gray, and I want to personally invite you to join me and a great group of people this October at one of the best fishing resorts in the world, Hotel Palmas de Cortez in Baja's amazing East Cape. This is our 21st year, and to celebrate, we have raised the bar. Thanks to the generosity of George Weir Asphalt in Escondido, we will award one lucky angler $1,000 cash for catching the largest tuna, dorado, or wahoo in our 2-day tournament. Now, don't be intimidated by the word tournament. Our Palmas de Cortez event is all about having fun, catching fish, and winning some great prizes, including $1,000 cash and a bunch more, including the first place team wins a trip to Palmas de Cortez, along with having all their fish processed for free by the East Cape Smokehouse. Get this, tournament entry is free for Let's Talk Hookup listeners, so make your reservations now for October 8th through 12th by calling Van Warmer Resorts at 877-777-TUNA or check the trips page at hookup1090.com for more details. Are you as excited about spring fishing as I am? The water stayed warm all winter, which means it's shaping up to be one of the best seasons ever to get out on the water. It's also shaping up to be one of the best seasons ever to visit your Ford dealer. The all-new F-150s are starting to roll in. With over 100 new patents, it's guaranteed to be a game changer. The new Mustang also has everyone buzzing. You've got to check it out. And the new Fusion, Focus, and Escape are better than ever. Fuel efficient and loaded with technology. There's as much interest in these new Fords as there is in spring fishing. In fact, Ford was the most searched automotive brand on Google last year. And once again, it's America's best-selling brand based on 2014 calendar year sales, which makes Ford the brand more people search, buy, and buy again. There's a lot to be excited about this spring, whether you're after tuna, yellowtail, halibut, or a brand new Ford. So visit your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Going to be a great show today, man.
Yes, talking about adventures that you read about in the Bight magazine with Scott and Brandon here. Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up, boys?
Good morning.
Yeah. So, congratulations, first of all, on the new Bight Journal that was debuted at the Fred Hall Long Beach show.
Thank you.
Really a great issue. I mean, the first one was phenomenal. The second one's even better.
Yeah, you guys
nailed
it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah, really did a good job. And, of course, why don't you kind of give us a little history on the Bight Journal, being 2 issues old. How did all that come together?
Yeah, so I was kind of ready to do something else in print, and I had always looked at the Surfer's Journal and thought it was just a beautiful publication, and thought that it could be the type of play that could go for fishing as well, long-form journalism, photo essays, just getting real deep into kind of different subjects that haven't been explored. And just started talking to the Pesmans, Steve and Debbie. Worked with them on the first issue. They helped it get off the ground. And now moving forward, they're kind of moving on to the new chapter in their own career and kind of scaling down and such. So I have the whole Bight to myself. Still work with Scott and some of the team there, but moving forward now it's a biannual, so we get 2 a year, 1 in March and then 1 in November. It'll stay like that for the next couple of years and kind of move forward from there.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
Scott, of course, you're still involved in it. Of course, editor of the Surface Journal. Now you have 2 jobs, right?
A little bit, yeah. I'm moonlighting a bit with Hayward here, both on the fishing front and on the magazining side, which is great. I've 17 years into the Surfer's Journal.
17 years.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. It's still fun. I wake up in the morning and look forward to going into work. It's like Christmas morning. You never know what sort of photo parcels are going to spill out in front of you. So that's exciting, and it's rewarding to see something tangible every 60 days. And the Bight has the same sort of program, and it's fun to sort of coach Brandon from his kind of weekly newspaper background into more relaxed, more involved in some ways pace. So that's a good time, too. So, yeah, the Bight's a blast. I'm happy to see it as a semi-annual now. I think that's a kind of a cogent, smart play. A lot of publications fire off right out of the gates as a bi-monthly or monthly, and they go 3 and out. Mm-hmm. This is a little more conservative, and we're liking the way it looks.
Yeah, it's looking really great. You did a piece in this issue. You can't say this month because it's a biannual.
Right.
You did a piece on one of the great pungueros out of Rancho Leonero. That was just really fantastic.
Yeah, I really dug it.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's nice of you to say. Thanks a lot.
You
Yeah.
lived with the guy, basically, kind of.
Yeah,
and
but
his family.
Yeah, that might be pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm fortunate in that I've been going down to Baja since, in all honesty, since I was probably 4 or 5 years old in the early 60s. So I've got a well of experience to draw from, and it's my favorite place in the world, that peninsula.
That's rad. I've
been traveling there now essentially my entire life. So anytime I can weigh in on some little subset of Baja topics, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah. So the Surface Journal's 4 times a year.
No, it's 6.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
6
we're bi-monthly.
times a year. Yeah, bi-monthly. Brandon, do you ever see the Bight Journal going to 4 or 6?
Maybe 4.
Uh-huh.
2's a nice sweet spot right now because
Sure.
I have the charters. And
Plus, you get time to go fishing, right?
time to go fishing, time to put a lot of effort into the Bight. I mean,
Right.
you can always kind of push it another week or do whatever it takes, you know? So it's a neat soft spot right now, and like how Scott said, I'm kind of growing into this new role and this new form of journalism for me. So doing it biannual for the next couple of years is good, and then reevaluate, and I'd love to have it be a quarterly. My dream situation in life would be like maybe do half as many charters as I do right now, and then the Bight is my main form of income
Sure.
as a quarterly. If I could have anything, that's probably how it would be.
It'd be a better family issue, too. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
You
for
have
sure.
2 kids now.
I love the charters.
Wife,
as my kids get older, and I really realized this yesterday because I went out with Noah for the first full day that we fished together. Best day on the water I've ever had in my life.
That's rad, man.
Cool.
Good for you.
And so as I get older and they get older, I want to be spending more time with them. You know, no offense to people who come out on the boat, but I want to spend more time fishing with my kids and less work on the boat.
What are you saying? You would rather be with Noah than Rock Hard Rick? What are you kidding
Well,
me?
no, I don't think he was saying
Rick's
that. I
always-
think he meant everyone else.
He can roll too.
So, one-man charters. Let's talk about that for just a couple minutes here.
Yeah.
It's your time of the year. It's sea bass season, and lo and behold, there's no squid. What are we going to do?
Okay. Well, I'm okay with that for 4 different reasons, and I could probably ramble on and have fragmented sentences about the way I feel about sea bass for 2 hours. if you think about it, even during the boomer squid years of the last 5 years, there was never any bait in April. We're always going like, remember?
Yes.
Always going like, oh my God, there's no bait. And the people who weren't too involved in the fishery were always going, oh, it's over. It was only a 1 year thing. It was like that in 2011, after 2010, 2012, 2000, blah, blah, blah. We've never seen a situation before where there was a huge squid biomass that butted into a El Nino. So we're in territory that, again, I've said this before, you can't even hit up the oldest of old-timers and have them say, like, it was like this in the 60s or something, because it's never been like this before. Maybe we'll still get squid. And I have a scoop of live squid in my bait receiver right now that a buddy got at Catalina. Small bait.
But it's squid.
But it's squid. And it was just like that last year, the year before that, scrambling, going to Catalina to make a little bit. Do I think there'll be huge, giant nests on the coast like there was in 2010, 2012, even last year? There was squid last year until early August. Mm-hmm. Warm water offshore, but relatively cool and snug to the beach last year. Do I think that'll happen? No. But do I think that the sea bass thing has its legs and they're still going to come through? Yes. And do I love the setup that I see right now with, like, getting some bites on mackerel, the signs that are around? Absolutely. I think it'll take a little bit of pressure off the fish. It'll make them more difficult to catch again instead of just sitting in bait grounds. And for my program, I think it's probably the best thing that could happen from a business sense. I think it'll be harder to go out and catch 4 or 5 a day, but to go out and pick 1 or 2 or 3, for sure. Yeah. And anyone who comes out with me this year is going to, like, if you want to learn about fin bait sea bass fishing just from osmosis and being on the boat and asking questions, I think you could pick up a lot.
So you're saying you can catch a sea bass without a squid?
I think you can.
People sometimes think, wow, originally that was the way it was.
Look at northern Baja.
Yeah,
right.
They catch a lot. And
Giants.
And squid is like, it was only during like 2010, the coldest of La Nina years, there was a lot of squid around there.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with the setup. I feel good about it.
Last year, Scott and I were fortunate enough to join you on the trip and watch Scott catch his very first sea bass, right?
Redemption.
Yeah. And gee, what did it take? We set up, and it took about a half an hour. We were done going home.
Actually, Pete, it took almost a year.
Almost a year.
I can't recall now. Thankfully, I've erased it from my memory banks, but I was 0-11 or 0-13, and those were miserable nights for a fellow not accustomed to night fishing.
Yeah.
And the deal was Brandon has, legitimate charters going with paying passengers, good fishermen looking to, like he said, go to school on his techniques and background. And I was only able to slide in on sort of exploratory trips. So we were going out with no promises or expectations. And I got what I deserved. I went, I blanked all year. So, to go out with you, Pete, that was fantastic.
Yeah, what a day. And it was one of those deals. Brandon called me and said, dude, you need to get up here tomorrow.
That was good fishing.
Yeah. and he was, I said, drop everything.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Yep. And that's exactly what happened.
I can be here sooner.
And it was so cool because I get on the boat. We're at Dana Harbor at 4:30 in the morning and headed south, and Scott says, well, I'm 0 for 11 on trips. And I went, oh, great.
I think that Hewlett was like kind of, a lot of people, they get pushed to the breaking point with sea bass, and then they're just like, I don't care anymore. Forget about those things. Yeah. They're not for me, blah, blah, blah. And like Hewlett was like right at that point. If I had just blanked him a little bit, he was major sea bass tilt.
Oh, yeah.
But
you got to have it.
When I called him on this one, I was like, if you come, you will catch one.
I had no doubt either.
It was the real deal.
It was built up like a steam engine.
Yeah,
it was going to explode. Either it was or I was. So that was good fun that morning.
Yeah, it was good fun.
I think we set up. The current was down and in. It was sunny. It was during the daytime. It was gorgeous. It was off a place I surf. I just felt comfortable. Boom, all
couldn't
three.
have been better.
Yeah, I mean we missed a couple. Then 10 minutes later, everybody had a 40, a 50, or whatever on the boat. That was good fun. I want to do that again.
Yeah. Come on. Can you arrange that, Brandon? Can we do that again?
Me too.
Yeah. So anyway, you're pretty much fully booked on your charters this year, right?
Yeah, I can always kind of weasel something in. I just don't have a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
I lost a trip for June 5th. The guy had to reschedule. So things like that kind of open up. I think I have like 3 or 4 individual open party spots. I have a trip May 3rd and another one June 10th. So if guys want to go, there's always a way.
Okay. And you take a maximum of?
I take 3 for lobster. During the winter, I do 4 because you're not really having to, duck and move and stuff like that. For sea bass, I take 3.
Yeah.
I take 3.
Lobster fishing, man. I know, Ricky, you got a chance to go. I didn't get a chance to go, but, man, we posted a photo on our website, hookup1090.com, of Cliff from Lakewood.
Hi, Cliff.
A nice limit there on the last day of the season, and that's the way it went for you this year, right?
It was really good over there. I spent 33 days at the island and got limits on 31 of the trips.
Oh, Scott, you get a chance in that?
I did. My dad and I slipped out with Brandon a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I think.
Yeah.
And slept on the hook, slept on the string line there, and went out and fished. Hooped the front side and up against the bluffs, and that was a great experience.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
Did you get your limits?
We did all right.
All right.
Yeah, we did all right.
Yeah, you're right. On that program was just incredible. It was way too good and too much fun, and going with somebody that's just got it dialed. It was really cool to watch. Cool to get to be a part of, but even cooler just to see how crazy good it can be. With somebody that's really got it figured out.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Doing it again next year, most likely?
Yeah. It was kind of a scramble. Last year I'd have people take the flyer over to Catalina and pick them up there because people are coming from all over Southern California. So I'm just going to run out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing next year.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to start the second week of October, and then I'll be there until the second week of March. And I'll do the same thing that I did this year. For the first month that I run, I do that catch a limit or your next trip's free. And I do it for the last month of the season as well.
Wow.
So if you book a trip in that 2-month block, if you don't catch a limit, you come back out again for free.
So are you booking those trips now?
Yeah, I have a couple things over like the opening days, but I don't have anything in that window.
Yeah.
So, and, sometimes you miss. Like I had a trip this year. We got 1 legal. It's like when you came out last year, it's just like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand that part about it, but
sometimes
fishing
they
is
don't
fishing.
crawl.
It's incredible.
Sometimes they don't bite.
We were driving over, and I was talking to Brandon about it. I'm like, you're crazy, man. I mean, no offense. And yeah, that's cool, and maybe it'll be people to get back on the boat, and they'll go a second time, and maybe that's the play there. And he just looked at me, oh, no, it's that good. And I'm like, there's no way. I was like, limits for every. Oh, yeah, it's that good. And then on the very first pull of the very first night, you look down at the hoop as it's coming up. It's like, oh, okay. All right, I got it. That's why you're doing it. No problems.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're done with 1 limit. Now let's see what the second hoop net holds for us.
Wow. So you're going to have an ace line hauler on the boat next year?
I'm going to be a legit lobster program. Line hauler, the whole thing. Because I only started doing it a couple of years ago, so it was all kind of new to me. So I'm going to kind of refine the program and make it.
Once you go ace, it's hard to go back, right?
Yeah.
I know, Ricky, you brought yours over, right?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. That's a pretty sweet tool.
Anyway, so a lot going on here, and we'd love to have you join us, Brandon and Scott, Wealth of Knowledge. You want to talk surfing with Scott? You want to talk fishing with Scott? You want to talk fishing with Brandon? It's all here.
You got it, bro. It's going to be a great show and lots of fun. We would love to have you join us this morning. If you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup, talk to Scott, talk to Brandon, get in on all the fun. We would love to hear from you. And there's 2 ways that you can do that this morning. The best right now would be with our local line. We do have phone line open on the local number. It's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. Or you can reach us toll-free. That toll-free line, 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Going to have an awesome show today. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls, lots of great information. Brock's going to tell you about a great prize for one lucky caller at the end of the show today. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sports fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Bubba had a dream, Bubba had a
If you've heard the advice Scott Sherman from Fifth Avenue Insurance has given anglers over the past couple of years, you know there is much more to your boat insurance than just a low rate. Well, Fifth Avenue Insurance can not only find you the lowest rates on your boat insurance, they also make sure the coverage you get meets all your needs. What if you had an accident with the boat and found out you didn't have proper coverage? Well, that just won't happen when you insure with Fifth Avenue Insurance. Call them for advice on your current boat policy or any of your insurance needs. Fifth Avenue Insurance, 619-640-3130, or check the number 5 THAVEINS.com. The Sport Fishing Association of California is taking a leadership role to broaden the fishing opportunities for Southern California anglers. And Saturday, May 2nd, Pete Gregg will be traveling to Mazatlan, Mexico with the president of SAC, Captain Ken Frank, and his staff to host a very important live broadcast from the El Cid Hotel and Resort in Mazatlan. The broadcast will feature some key personnel from Mexico Fisheries and help strengthen the ties with the sport fishing fleet in Southern California and Mexico. They will also discuss the great fishing opportunities available in Mazatlan. SAC's mission is to promote tourism through marine recreation and educational activities while protecting ocean resources. By working together with Mexico, we can show our care for the resources, both at home and across the border, and our desire to take an active role to help protect the future of our fisheries. So mark your calendar for Saturday, May 2nd, a very special live broadcast from Mazatlan, Mexico, with the Sport Fishing Association of California. Check CaliforniaSportFishing.org for more information. Your hook is one of the most important parts of your fishing tackle, and that is why you should use the hook that sets the standard for quality and innovation. Gamakatsu. As Japan's leading hook manufacturer and growing at an amazing pace, Gamakatsu is responsible for introducing a unique tempering process to give Gamakatsu hooks superior strength and durability. Plus, the conically needle-honed points stay sharp. Gamakatsu offers a hook for every fishing situation, including the finest one-piece ringed hooks, light wire, standard and heavy-duty live bait hooks, and the popular Nautilus circle hooks. Get Gamakatsu hooks at your favorite tackle store and stay connected to that fish of a lifetime.
For East Cape Fishing, Jen Wren is known as the best. This is Mark Rayer. Great service, top quality equipment, including all accurate reels, CalStar rods, and Cimarron electronics, has put my immaculately maintained twin-engine cruisers in a class of their own. For memories of a lifetime, just bring your hat and sunglasses, and we'll provide a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Our calendar's filling fast, so don't miss out. For packages, 2 live webcams, a weekly fishery report, and more, check out TeamJenWren.com. We pick up at all East Cape resorts, so let's go fishing.
For Rancho Leonero, here's John Ireland.
At Rancho Leonero, very seldom are we going to send out any more than 15 or 20 boats at one time or one day. And because the ranch has 2 specific bait guys, everyone gets bait, everyone gets their boat. The stress level is way down at the ranch. We make it as easy as we can make it. From the meals right on down the line, very few decisions over the day. And, we've got the Wi-Fi internet now, and everybody can get on if they want and access their email or not. We've been working on the ranch continually. I did a $500,000 renovation, upgrading the hotel, the bar. So we're working at it. And the most important thing is just our guests and taking care of them. We really appreciate them. So every guest that comes through gets special attention. We make sure they do. We'll guarantee you the best Baja vacation possible. You're in my home, and I'll take good care of you. RanchoLeonero.com, old Baja style.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Want to be sure to have you take a look at Western Outdoor News, where Brandon used to work. Of course, still friends and compadres over there, and you still doing some ads in Western Outdoor News for one-man charters.
I went from staffer to an advertiser.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. This week, believe it or not, it's almost Sierra trout season. 2 weeks away from the opening day of Sierra trout season. Of course, here on Let's Talk Hookup, we're proud to represent Mammoth Lakes and the Mammoth Visitors Bureau, and we'll be doing that again this year. And Bart Hall will be broadcasting right here on Let's Talk Hookup from Mammoth Lakes with an Eastern Sierra opening weekend report here, the weekend of trout season. And so don't miss it this week in Western Outdoor News. They have a Sierra Tour season preview. Of course, the season again starts April 25th. So check it out along with all the other great stuff in this week's edition of Western Outdoor News, the Sierra season preview.
All right.
Let's go ahead and jump to the phone.
You got it, man.
Oh, wait a minute. We forgot to mention the prize.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
So as you hear, obviously we're stoked to have Brandon and Scott in here talking all about the Bight. So one lucky caller at the end of the show today is going to have an opportunity to have every issue of the Bight Journal that ever gets produced for the history of the publication. So a lifetime subscription.
Lifetime. Now, whose lifetime is it? It would be the lifetime of the person that wins it.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is not a multi-generational
If you will
thing.
it, I'll honor any wills.
You'll honor the will, too, if you will it, too.
That's very cool, you guys.
A lifetime subscription of the Bight Journal.
How cool is that, man?
That's
awesome.
Cool. You can't even buy that.
Literally can't buy that.
Yeah.
No.
So you can only win it right here today on Let's Talk Hookup.
Yeah.
How about that? I bet if you flash some serious cash, he'd
everything's
he'd break
for
for
sale.
it. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. As you can hear, we've got an awesome show. So, again, if you want to be a part of that, you want to talk to Scott, talk to Brandon, have some fun, and also have your opportunity to win such a cool prize, and we really appreciate that. 858-457-1090. That's the local line. Or 877-792-1090. Let's start off the phones this morning with Harvey, who's calling us from Simi Valley this morning. Harvey, good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, gentlemen. Brandon, it's a pleasure talking to you. I signed up for the 2-year subscription at the Fred Hall Show in Long Beach.
Well, thank you for that, Harvey.
Yes.
Yes.
And my question for you is, that shot in the second issue of the Yellowfin Tuna swimming in schools, is there a way to get a photo print of that I can hang on the wall?
Oh, the 4-page gatefold?
Yes.
That was taken by a professional photographer. His name's Tony Ludovico. Tony H2O is his handle on social media, and if you were to Google that, he's an East Coast guy. He's got a couple galleries in Florida, so you could buy that image no problem at all. The name of the image is Wrong Way, because there's the one tuna that's shooting kind of against the school.
Uh-huh.
So that would be my suggestion there. If you have a hard time with that, just get a hold of me, and I'll shoot you a link or get you his phone number, whatever it takes.
Fantastic.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. You know, from the first issue, there was another artist featured in there, and there was an amazing picture of a hogfish. And my
Amadeo, yeah.
Yeah, and my brother-in-law from Cleveland is wild about shooting hogfish in Florida.
Okay.
And so I bought him that image, and it proudly sits inside his office now.
Neat.
So, yeah, that was another amazing artist. And that's one of the things about
the
Bight that you can do that really features these artists and photographers, and that is, it comes from the Surfer's Journal, right, Scott?
Oh, a little bit, but I mean, wildlife culture and outdoor culture has a long history of documentation via fine art and photography, and to leave that sort of hanging would become gross negligence.
Yeah.
The new issue, of course, has a feature on Paul Elder, who's sort of the artist in residence with Ballast Point Brewery. And, even before the advent of Ballast Point, Paul was kind of an underground, hardcore cult figure in Bird Rock and La Jolla, as both a white sea bass spear fisherman and as a rod and reel fisherman and as a surfer. And he absolutely kind of lives the brand that Ballast Point has put forth to match their fine beer. And it was a joy hanging out with Paul and getting to know him and finding out all the various reference points we shared in Baja Norte and in La Jolla, et cetera. So, yeah, that's going to continue to be a component of the Bight as we go forward, no doubt.
The thing that's been so cool about that is being a fisherman and not being aware of the Surfer's Journal. I mean, always being aware of it and always knowing that it was kind of the high-end publication, but not being a surfer, just never subscribing, never reading. It's cool to get to see that format, and I just challenge everybody that hasn't seen it. It's so much different than what exists, being able to take the time, and it's not just when you guys do a photo display, it's not just a picture of a guy holding a fish. It's these very in-depth, very high-end, very cool photography. There's so much more to appreciate than just a guy holding a fish. I mean, the stories are so good, and the photography is just super, super top-notch, and so I was introduced to the Bight before the Surfer's Journal, probably so rare of that. But then, not even being a surfer, you can pick up the Surfer's Journal and appreciate it so much.
Yeah, coming from sort of outside the fishing game, media-wise, and looking into it with Brandon as we sort of, spilled out the other publications and reviewed websites. Boy, I really saw a lot of meat on the bone of stories that could be pursued, and ways to tell visual stories as well. So we're going to kind of put that to test as we proceed. So you're seeing the early, as far as the fellows holding fish, a lot of publications do that beautifully and right up to the minute. Mm-hmm. Fantastic, and we'd be out of our minds to try and pursue that. It's done so well and for so long. We're going into sort of the culture of why we fish and trying to inspire you to immerse yourself deeper and deeper into fishing culture.
And you think about, I mean, certainly there's a lot of opportunity in surfing, but for those of us that love fishing, there's so much opportunity for that type of journalism in fishing. Right.
Tons.
Endless.
And some people say, like, man, aren't you ever worried about running out of stories? Like, once I start digging and looking into stuff, just more opens up.
Oh, yeah.
Because, we're just looking at things in a kind of a different light, if you will. You know what I mean?
I'm sure that's got to be part of it. I look forward to having that conversation 10 years from now when you write this thing and like, well, how'd you even think about that? And I'm sure half of the things are, well, we started doing this piece and then we just were bummed that we couldn't do it at the time, and it's there, but you don't have the opportunity or the timing's not right. I'm sure there's so much cool stuff that you already have on the back burner.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's a limiting factor, but if anything, the photo part is the little blocks that we face, because unlike surf or any board sports where there's just huge amounts of photography out there, and fishing, a lot of that photography isn't existing, so we have to go out there and create it ourselves.
Like
the Baja trip, a lot of it.
There's a lot of good photography in surfing. There's not a lot of good photography in fishing.
And specifically for like West Coast, Southern California Bight DNA photography, what we're looking for. So that's what will always kind of keep us
which is
different.
Yeah, which is also a way of saying we happily review submissions too. If you know someone or know somebody who knows someone who's a skilled lensman and has a portfolio or a vein of photography that they would like us to take a look at, we'd be happy to do so.
Yeah, some travel involved.
If there is travel involved, that's fine. But it could be anything. It could be a simple, well-loved jig photographed artfully.
We personally figure that we call it field research.
Sure.
You have to do that,
Pete's on his way to go do it this week.
Yeah.
It's just something that one needs to do.
Loaded the boat yesterday. The Royal Star, I think they're leaving the dock as we speak right now. Meet them in Cabo on Wednesday. Fly down on Alaska Airlines and
research your ass
walk on the boat
days.
and 11 days of field research. There you
go.
For giant yellowfin tuna and wahoo. Here's a place that we all love to field research. Is a place called Rancho Leonero in Baja's East Cape. John Ireland's on the line. Buenos dias, John.
Hi, Peter. Hello, Rick. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, of course, we are just talking about that amazing article in this issue of Bight Journal.
Yeah, a great one. Alonzo, I handed it over to Alonzo, and now he's worried that everybody's seen his wife. Now they're going to be after his wife.
That's a legitimate worry, John.
That's your character. He really is. He's a piece of work and a lot of fun to fish with too. Very enthusiastic, and but he's the article's really well done because it really hit it. It's a culture that's been, Lord knows how many generations back, all of them fishermen, and now they're right there, they're facing that precipice now where they're going to have people from the mainland come over because construction, from development and all that. And it was interesting because I've never really talked to them much about that. So to hear their opinion on it, and in particular his, and that they're thinking about it and they're aware and concerned that that's going on, it was just a really well done, very interesting article. So did you write that, Scott?
I did. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you, John.
I enjoyed it very much.
So what's going on down there?
Well, it's windy today, believe it or not. We haven't had any wind for 2 months, and then it was kind of threatening the last couple of days, and it just really blew last night for whatever reason. So we got a little wind. It's supposed to lay down this afternoon, and that'll hopefully be the end of it for the spring. Because we've truly, all February and March, it's just been as flat as it can be. It couldn't have been prettier. And the fishing's been pretty good too. The story's been the thresher shark outside, right on the La Rivera bank, right out in front. I don't remember. Normally threshers are a solitary fish, I thought anyway, and an occasional catch. Once in a lifetime fish. But that's not the case. For the last month, it's been. For every 2 marlin taken off the La Rivera bank in front, they've been taking, releasing marlin, and they've been taking 1 or 2 threshers too as well. So quite a few threshers around. We've been seeing, the 200 pounders and above just aren't coming to the boats. They got that big prop on them and they're just having their way. But we're seeing a lot of 150s, 160s coming to the cleaning table. And like I say, it's just the best thresher shark fishing I've ever seen down here, and probably once in a lifetime deal. They're taking all ballyhoo. For whatever reason, everything's loving ballyhoo for the last couple of weeks. The guys have really learned to tie them really well. When they're trolling, they're very, very fish-like and all that. And they're more effective than live bait. At least they have been, not just for them, but for the wahoo as well. They've been picking up some wahoo inside on ballyhoo. Inside, all fly fishermen this week. We had a wedding, so we've had 2 or 3 boats out with fly fishermen, and they've been fishing inside, and a lot of roosterfish and pompano inside. Big roosterfish right now is about 20 pounds, but they're releasing 7 or 8. The fly guys are, and a number of pompano as well. And pretty good fishing inside, a lot of Sierra as well. And but we had one boat go far south this weekend off the White Cliffs, ran into tuna down there, right off the beach. They limited, largest yellowfin was 60 pounds. That was an occasional deal as well. And they were catching most of them on ballyhoo as well. So.
Already yellowfin, that's great news. And of course, I know a lot of people at the Fred Hall Delmar show were clamoring for those last couple spots on our Let's Talk Hookup trip. I don't know where we are right now. I didn't check with Jeannie this week, but if we have a spot left, or you can go in May, June, absolutely May, June, July, September, October, best time of the year to the East Cape. Why don't you give us a number, tell us how we get a hold of you.
Thanks, dude. It's 800-646-2252 or rancholandero.com. Normally we're updating fish photos on there weekly, so you get some idea what we're catching down here. It's been a beautiful, beautiful spring and everything. Everything's a little early. Water's a little warmer than normal. We're metering 76 to 78 degree water, so everything seems to be about 6 weeks ahead on the Bight and everything. I expect that to continue anyway for the next month or so anyway.
All right. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
You will. Nice talking to you, Kevin.
Okay,
bye.
Bye. All right. Don't forget, next Sunday, we're going to hear later on in the show from Catherine, is the big day at the docks.
Yeah, going to be a fun show.
Ricky will be broadcasting live. Steve Carson's going to join him, at least for the first hour, and then a variety of guests throughout the whole day. It's Ice Cowboy's going to be there. And Gary will be there helping out. Gary and the Codfather will be manning our Let's Talk Hookup booth.
Yes.
And that'll be great. So that's going to be a good time next Sunday.
Always cool. And the show is always fun because, like you say, there's always people setting up in the audience, guys, whatever, somebody, long-range captain's going to the boat or somebody setting up their booth, we pull in back and forth. So always fun that way. We're going to have stand-up microphone questions, so if you want to come down, hang out, ask a question, some very cool prizes to be won. It's going to be a really fun day.
You bet. And Captain Brandon Hayward will be there with the Bight Journal, right?
I will, yeah.
Right on. Awesome.
You can be taking subscription orders?
I'll take subs there, yeah. I got a couple seminars. They're super intro seminars. So anyone who's listening to the show, it's probably not for them. But, if you got new people entering the sport.
Just basic how-to sport boat.
Yep, total
fishing.
brass tacks of it.
Awesome.
Great.
So, yeah, I always like doing that type of stuff, get new people involved. So, but yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
Day at the Docks is a fun day, and honestly, it is. It's a really good day as far as sales stuff goes, just strictly from the tackle side of things. It's the very last, quote-unquote, show of the year for all of us. So all of the things that we bought, this is where you get some crazy good deals. There's always good deals. Some are better at one show or another. But whenever we buy in the tackle business like a closeout thing, like something that was for the shows, like this manufacturer decided to change the color of whatever this lure is, and so if you buy them all, you can get them for this price. And you think, okay, well, we'll get that, and that'll be a show special. If one of those things didn't go that well at the show, this is the time, and it's not just for us. This is every person that sells tackle. This is when it's like, okay, well, we're going to need this space this summertime, so let's get this sold crazy inexpensive, and that's what's so fun about Day at the Dock. It's the last show opportunity before going into the season.
So Fisherman's Landing Tackle is going to have some big sales.
Yeah, we're going to have some really good ones.
Okay, all right. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the phone.
You got it. Well, they're packed up, and why don't we talk to Cliff? Talked about him this morning with that great lobster fishing. Cliff, good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing this morning?
Great. Good morning.
Hi, Cliff.
Yeah, I had that was quite fun lobstering out there. Brendan Shoe's got that wired in. He's like a scientist. He's got like eyes on the bottom of the floor. He can see them.
How did they taste, Cliff? How did they taste?
Oh, they were very delicious. I had them on my birthday for my steak and lobster on my birthday on April 3rd. It was great.
Baller dinner. Nice.
Well done.
Nice. Well, good. Some people say those Catalina ones taste better. So.
Oh, I think they do.
I'm with 2.5-pound Catalina bug drawn across butter.
Yes. Man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. By the way, Scott, did he share any with you?
Oh, yeah. We, you earn them because
Brandon
is in the wheelhouse and you've got a line in your hand.
That's why the line hauler, even when Hewlett comes out, he's still going old school.
Oh, he is?
Straight manual.
Yeah,
straight manual.
Hand over hand.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Earn them.
I'll
coil the rope behind you.
Yeah. What's up, Cliff? What was the question?
Okay, that green hydroglow stick, boy, that thing was awesome. Is that strictly just using bait, or do you use it for other things?
Oh, I just use it for bait, but you can use it, for any sort of lighting. Sometimes if I'm anchored up somewhere and I'm not doing squid and want to lay down for a little bit, I'll just turn it on so it's another light or whatever. I always thought in an emergency type situation that could be a cool kind of like lightsaber, mid-channel, something's wrong, Not that would ever happen, but theoretically.
For maybe somebody that doesn't know what you guys are talking about, what is he talking about? What's a hydroglow?
It just runs. It's a 4-foot LED underwater light that's used for squid, and it really caught on for local 4 or 5 years ago. To be honest with you, I don't like that light at all for Catalina. It just doesn't have enough juice to draw bait up. I think that's because it's deeper water usually where you're making your bait at Catalina. So for Catalina, I like the heavy-duty underwater white light with a little mini generator for just straight bait-making purposes. But it's a good, practical, relatively cheap light. I think they're like $240, $260, like that anyone can use. Clips onto your battery. I have a little 12-volt little socket that mine plugs into, and I work it off the dash. So, yeah, I think it's a good thing to have on your boat.
There you go, Cliff. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. And there's a lot of variety of different ones that you can get.
Yeah.
From the hydroglow to there's others
all sorts
out
of
there.
stuff. Yeah.
All kinds of different ones.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a guy. I have one that I got from a guy. He's in Redondo. This I'll think of the name.
Yeah.
Squid light guy.
Yeah.
It's a big bright light that you can plug into 12-volt inverter and comes with its own kind of inverter.
Got a little ballast on it.
Ballast on it. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, and works very, very
well. That's the other thing about this year too. I don't think it's going to be as easy as just like throwing out the hydroglow and just like, oh, here it is, and then literally using your bait scoop or a scoop to scoop it. I mean, it's going to be scratching, working with dabs at the island, bringing it back to the beach and such. So, yeah, I think
the biggest advantage you can have is a good light.
Good, powerful light, for sure.
All right, well, hey, let's jump right back into the phones. This time we're going to talk to Brett, who's calling us from San Marcos this morning. Brett, good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning. Brandon, guys, how you doing?
What's up, Brett?
Good morning. How's it going?
How are you?
Well, I got 2 reports. One from yesterday, and then I have to do a report about Brandon's thing. And that is yesterday, went with Bob on the angler management trip.
Fantastic.
Let's Talk Hookup sponsored trip, and we hit the islands. Water was a little cool, about 62 degrees. We were a little concerned. Then the current changed, and the water bumped up to 64, 65, and pretty much on the Rapala Troll, got limits of yellowtail out there.
Nice. Right on, Brett.
And, again, just back and forth, middle grounds, and went outside a little bit, got all over it, and like I said, got limits plus a few big calicos on the Troll, which was kind of interesting.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, Bob, that boat's beautiful, isn't that Scout? That 26-foot Scout.
Yeah. And I was dying to get on that because I hadn't been on it since he put the 200s on there, and those things are they're just out of sight. I mean, I remember the 150s, of course, and those 200s plus that new fly-by-wire, which is the same thing Brandon has. That's just the only way to go.
Yeah, that's a new inline 4-cylinder, super fuel-efficient 200 that Yamaha came out with. He has twins on there. It's a pretty amazing power package.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a great trip. But I have to say, when I heard Brandon on there, I've got 2 of the Bights, D2 Bights, sitting on my coffee table, which is just incredible. And actually, on one of the 3 trips I did with Brandon on the lobster out at Catalina, I had the opportunity to kind of coincide with one of the photographers, and so doing the for one of the shoots, and that was interesting. But I have to say that the best part that I haven't heard about on the trips was that we went out there all 3 trips, particularly this last one, the last weekend before the season end. Limits for me, my son, and his friend by 10 o'clock, and then we load them up in a bucket and take them over to the lobster trap, and for $12 they make you a complete lobster dinner, which Brandon had that idea, which was just, to me, over the top.
Sweet. So good.
So rad. That's so
cool.
2-pound
lobster done for you at the lobster trap.
Oh.
Yeah.
With a great white on draft.
Yeah.
Racing, they stay open late. It's the latest food place in Avalon. So they're supposed to close at 10, but it's usually late nights kind of gets kicking there sometimes. So you got till like 10:30. So the race to get limits to get into lobster trap for dinner is just epic.
That's
so good.
That's cool.
So good. Well, enjoyed having you on the boat, and I'm looking forward to more of it.
Yeah, I tell you what, Brandon, you do a great job, and thank you. And thank you guys.
Glad you had such a nice time with Bob Aronson and Angler Management yesterday, too. That sounds like a really fun day. It looked like the weather
I had to let you guys know. That was a good one.
That was a good one. All right. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Appreciate that. Speaking of which, you want to go on one of those trips with Bob and Angler Management? We have some Let's Talk Hookup sponsored trips just like that one. Another one in May, and then we have several through the season there, both on the Angler Management 1, which is that 26-foot Scout that we were just talking about, and the Angler Management 2, which is the 35-foot Cabo. All of that is on our website, hookup1090.com. Go to the trips page. You'll see that, along with our schedule of Shimano Let's Talk Hookup on the Water seminars. You'll see all the different trips that we sponsor throughout the year. Check them out. All available on our trips page.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming away, including checking in with the catch report. We're going to find out what's biting up and down the beach. Lots of great stuff coming your way. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Everyone likes special treatment, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
It's time for our Power Pro 60-second seminar, and going on the Royal Star here, I've been spending a lot of time getting intimate with Power Pro Hollow Ace and making wind-on top shots. So easy. You use the Sato crimp kit or whatever method you want to use. There's nothing that splices like Power Pro Hollow Ace.
It's one of those things that you can hear about, but until you spend time trying to run your fluorocarbon up inside of a lesser quality hollow Spectra, you don't realize how great that Hollow Ace is. 16 carrier line, it just opens a lot easier. You're able to run either your prepared end of your mono or fluoro or your hollow needle. It's just effortless. How much easier it makes your job splicing. There's nothing like Hollow Ace.
And if you fill your reel with Hollow Ace, which is a great way to go if you are using a loop-to-loop connection, you splice that loop in the end of that, and then you put your wind-ons, you do a loop-to-loop connection. Instant changing. You're ready to go. Instantly back in the water, ready to catch a big one.
It's all good.
There you go. Power Pro Hollow Ace at your favorite tackle store. Check PowerPro.com.
Fisherman's Landing Tackle is Southern California's premier Shimano Pro Shop. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Let our saltwater tackle professionals show you the best Shimano has to offer, including Talica, Trinidad A, Terez, Stella, Saragossa, Curado, Terramar, Waxwing, Cold Sniper, Butterfly, Lucanus, Torium, Tiagra, and too much more from Shimano to mention. Bottom line, we have the most complete selection of Shimano saltwater tackle and the knowledge to properly equip you for your trip. Make sure to see us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego or on the web at saltwatertackle.com.
Discover the reliable Yamaha 4-stroke family. This versatile line of outboards is available in a range of horsepower with exciting new additions like the advanced technology next generation F-115 and F-200. Both the F-115 and the Innovation Award-winning Yamaha F-200 are the lightest double overhead cam 4-strokes in their classes. The original F-150 delivers legendary reliability, and the all-new F-175 creates a convenient new horsepower tier. Compact, lightweight Yamaha 4-strokes, perfect for repower and ready for anything. Find them today at your local Yamaha Marine dealer.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Oh my gosh, this club is playing fantastic baseball.
San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. As promised, it's time to find out what's biting out there. And today, the Catch Report, sponsored in part by Dana Landing on Mission Bay, your one-stop shop for everything you need to go fishing, a complete saltwater tackle shop. They've got a full deli. They have Mexican and California licenses, trips and six-pack charters. And when it comes to freshwater tackle, check out East County Bait and Tackle, full of all the freshwater tackle and live bait that you need for a great day in the lake. Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld, next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay, and East County Bait and Tackle at the end of the 67 freeway at Mapleview and Lakeside. Check out DanaLanding.com for more information, and we're going to start up at Dana War Sport Fishing. Talk to the man, Captain Brian Woolley's on the line. What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. What's happening in there? How are you?
Great time, Woolley. Everything's good.
Good. Hey, we're just kind of rolling along up here this last week. Bottom fishing still the main deal on our docket on our 3/4 day trips. You know, we've had a few tough days. We did have a few tough days this week, mixed with a couple of near limit days of good mixed rockfish. So it's kind of one day it's decent, one day you really got to kind of work at it. There's a big layer of red crab and some real sizable spots of fin day in that deep water off Box Canyon, kind of where we've been fishing. So that's been kind of having the fish playing some games for us here a little bit. So it's made it a little bit harder than it has typically been. Fishing along the beach it's still decent. You know, the water kind of got mixed up on the inside there, and it's a little bit of downhill current stuff's finally starting to clean up a little bit. Got a nice load of anchovy in our receivers, so that should certainly play into our benefit hopefully this week, as you know, some of the half-day fishes along the kelp edge, some of that hard bottom through San Clemente down towards San Mateo Point. And then on our longer 3/4 day trips, we have been kind of finishing the day off in the kelp there too, down off of Yellowtail kelp, barn kelp. So I'm sure that anchovy will definitely play into some of that bass fishing. The Fury has been overnight fishing at Clemente, and he had a solid day over there yesterday. He ended his day with 73 yellowtail. Kind of good mixed fish. I think some of the smaller fish were that 8 to 10 pound stuff, and then you had some bigger fish. I think his jackpot fish went 35 pounds. So some good fishing over there on the deep water iron there, or the single dropper loop. And when he's not over there at Clemente, he's been doing his 5 to 5 all day fishing over at Catalina. He's had some really good bass fishing over there too, and a few yellows in his count over there a little bit closer. So that's kind of what we have rolling over at that Dana Wharf. Of course, if you want to hop on the local trip, half day or 3/4 day, you can make us right there through the Let's Talk Hookup website and save a little bit of money on one of those trips, or you can call us at the office there and we'll take the reservation. Phone number there is 949-496-5794, or you can check us out on the web at danawharf.com.
Awesome, man. Great info. Glad to hear that there's some good fishing going on, and with a good week of weather, anxious to see that keep rolling right along. Willie, appreciate a great report. Look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, guys, have a good show.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks a lot for that. Speaking of Brian, we got a bonus to the catch port today. Captain Brian Kiyahara of the American Anglers on the line. What's up, Brian?
Oh, good morning. Good morning, guys. I wish I had a fish report. It's such a beautiful day out here today. Anyhow, we just been doing maintenance on the boat, and Lori got an unfortunate call last week that we had one of our regulars have to cancel out on our upcoming 14-day trip. So I just wanted to let everyone know that May 2nd we have a space available on a 14-day trip. Call Lori.
Rare opportunity to get aboard a trip that is always full, that 14-day May trip on the American Angler. And I must say, Brian, I was walking along the Point Loma sport fishing there and saw the American Angler. It's looking good, man.
Yeah.
You guys did a beautiful job during your maintenance.
Yeah, it's getting there. We still have a few more weeks of work to do, but we'll be ready to rock come May 2nd.
So there's one spot available on that trip?
There's actually 2 spots available.
Two spots available?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Anything will help.
All right. So if you want to go on the American Angler 14-day and prime time spring fishing down there, and boy, after Roy's call yesterday, you heard how good it can be, right?
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
And hopefully, Pete, you're going to leave us a couple.
We'll try. Yeah, we're going to try and
Randy on the start here.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we have Randy run the boat, and you know Randy. He's going to find them if they're there, right?
Yes, sir.
Indeed. Well, who's going to run that trip for you, speaking of which?
Oh, that'll be me.
That'll be you.
All right.
Brian Kiyahara. All right. Well, if somebody wants to go on that trip with you, Brian, how do we get a hold of the American Angler?
619-223-5414, and Lori will be waiting for the call.
All right. AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Of course, you can always link that on the Let's Talk Hookup website, too. Thanks, Brian. 14-day, beginning of May. Get on it.
That sounds good to me.
Appreciate the call this morning.
Hey, let's jump back in. Continuing to catch port, we're going to talk to the surf guru. Gundy Gunderson's on the line. What's up, Gundy?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen?
Hey, Gundy.
Great.
Hey, Pete, you got a few pufferfish rigs all set up?
Dude, my favorite bait, man. Love that stuff.
Hey, we got a spring rollover. You know, we had a little wind, and, typically that would mean mid-50s, upper 50s after a rollover. But this year, that dropped us down to 61. So we only had a little hiccup here, and the fishing really picked up. Starting up north there, Goleta, East Beach continue to be the hot spot for the perch. Reported hook, line, and sinker. This stretch north of Santa Barbara, clear up to Pismo Beach, has been the best barred perch fishing for the year. So it seems like that fish has shifted north a little on that spawn. Another angler reported several 16-inch fish at Halama, and that's a great place to camp, and there's some big perch up there. That might be a little weekend trip. Camo sandworms, grubs are working best there. Good halibut action off the slough for those guys. 3-inch big hammers, Christmas tree, sexy smell. Wiley's reported nice influx of halibut, mostly smaller fish along Malibu there. There's, like I said, mostly shorts, but plenty of legals. 4-pound, 14-ounce fish was checked in, caught on an anchovy there off Big Rock, and that's kind of the typical legal fish there, about 28, 30 inches. Perch action slow for these guys, and pretty much slow going south. Big Fish and Seal Beach reported some cooler waters slowed things a bit, but the best bet was a good croaker sargo bite off Dog Beach, Surf Beach, long rods. You got to slurp the ghost shrimp in the Back Bay, but the ghost shrimp was the ticket, catching 2 to 4 pound yellowfin and spot fin with the occasional nice sargo and the corvina mixed in. Some of the sargo up to 3 pounds, a nice little bite there. Halibut bite at the inlet was excellent this week. Almost a fish of cats, but they were all short fish, real hard to find a legal in there. Hogan's and Dana Point reported halibut bite picked up in and around the harbor in Doheny. Lots of shorts, most of the legals running from 24 to 28 inches. Dark pattern swim baits, Berkeley jerk shed, Zoom flukes working well. There's also been a lot of short to legal barracuda in and around the jetties there. Crocodiles, Castmasters doing the trick, and then Pacific Coast finally reported halibut bite continues strong this week with the harbor, beaches, lagoons all kicking out fish. Several double digits out of the lagoon again on the live smelt, and then Carlsbad, Del Mar, Torrey, Pines all kicking out fish for those guys throwing the Lucky Craft. So we had a little rollover, but, I don't think the hiccup was too bad. We're right back in the action.
It came back. You heard the report from the islands there, man. It's just like springing back fast. Well, Gundy, always a great report. I sure appreciate that. And you take care of yourself this week, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
Yeah, you got to get in on some action on that trip, Pete. I'll write it up for you, man. I'll get your name in print.
All right, you got it, buddy. All right, I'll send it to you.
See you, Gundy.
Thanks.
That's cool. Hey, let's continue with the catch report. Talk to the man, Captain Al Clowers on the line. What's up, Al?
Hey, good morning, Pete, Rick, Brandon, Scott. How's it going this morning?
Excellent.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, I had a couple days in my schedule this week off, and I needed to replace my tank, and I just wanted to give a shout-out to Vince from American Tanks over in La Mesa for the people that are looking for gas tanks for their boats And a friend of mine, Tom, from Coronado Yacht Club, came over and helped me yank it out real quick. And I literally called Vince up on Wednesday, and that guy had my 120-gallon tank made by Thursday night.
Wow.
That's cool. And just beautiful, a beautiful operation. I guess he's been doing it for a long time. I don't need tanks very often, thank God. But he made all the Blackman tanks and everything. So if anyone needs to get a hold of him, it's 619-253-7035. His name is Vince from American Tanks.
Good tip. Good tip.
Yeah.
What about the fishing in the bay?
The bay, hey, this time I was just looking at the grunion report. If you Google the grunion and the bay fishing goes hand in hand. And if you want to look at the grunion runs, I just Googled California grunion run schedule, and it tells you the 2 months that they're closed for take, and then it tells you all the other runs. And that's one of my favorite things to do in the bay in the summertime, with clients or without clients. I like to go out during the grunion run at night, like I talked about last year, and throw topwire lures on those greasy, glassy nights on the sandy beaches and catch those corvina, And I was looking at the schedule because I want to get out there and do some of that. It's still a little cold at night right now, but those corvina eat those topwire lures, and a lot of people don't know about it. You go out and throw the white 3-hook jar spook out there, right up on the beach, and those big corvina come up and eat them. Sometimes you catch, 8-pounders. Sometimes you catch a bunch of little 2-pounders. But there's been nights where I've caught 14 of them in a couple hours.
At night, huh?
At night, yeah. The grunion. Another thing a lot of people don't know about, which is really good information for the people that like to do this, is the beach over by Pioe's the grunion run on that beach.
Oh.
In the bay. So on the grunion runs, they get, you know, a lot of times that place is littered with people, and it's hard to fish during the grunion run, but all the other beaches are really good to fish, you know. But, you know, the grunion bring the halibut. You know, the halibut, we've been seeing some halibut, nice halibut in the counts, a couple of nice 11, 12, 13-pounders.
Yeah.
And some shorts. You know, I don't fish deans too much unless somebody calls me up and wants to target halibut, but we've been getting them on the swim baits. And then another really cool thing in that 13-foot of water back in the back, the 8 to 13-foot of water, we're slow trolling the fat-free shad crankbaits, and they eat them. They eat them good.
Really?
And,
okay.
Yeah.
Good tip.
Barely in gear.
Barely
the fat-free shad swims pretty deep, so it's bouncing off the bottom and causing a bunch of ruckus.
Wow, that sounds like a good tip. Well, if somebody wants to go bay fishing, offshore, inshore fishing with Captain Clowers, how do we do that, Al?
Get a hold of me at 619-800-FISH, CaptainClowers.com, or go to Let's Talk Hookup and pull me off of there.
There you go. Captain Al Clowers, great guy to go fishing with. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you real soon.
Okay, you guys have a good one.
All right, you too.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up our catch report. Very complete up and down the beach. And today was sponsored in part by Job Site Supply, specializing in the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing trades. Come see the full line of Louisville ladders at Job Site Supply. Plus, they have the exclusive logo lock system in-house, which takes your company logo and embeds it permanently into the fiberglass to deter theft and keep track of your ladders on the job site.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Those guys are really good guys and very good fishermen and very good friends of everybody in the sport fishing industry, and very supportive of all the events in the sport fishing business. Really good guys and certainly good people to do business with. For more information, check out JobSiteSupplyCo.com for more details. And when we come back, we got a lot of Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. The phone lines are absolutely packed, and a big block of your phone calls is coming up next. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Running, honey, don't hold.
If you're into the water, I mean getting out and going fishing, diving, surfing, shark diving, or kayaking, you need to check out the Islander at islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. In addition, the Islander offers kayak mothership trips, spearfishing trips, and more. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. You won't find a more knowledgeable or well-rounded team than Captain Shane Slaughter, John Conniff, and crew. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
Cedros Tackle has some great news. They are expanding to offer you new adventures to complement their fully outfitted tackle shop right on Cedros Island. Cedros Tackle will now offer kayak fishing and tours. The adventure includes deluxe accommodations in Cedros Tackle's own brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath cottage that provides all the comforts of home, yet gives each guest their own private space to rest after a long day of fishing and fun on Cedros Island. The kayak adventures include the use of fully outfitted Hobie Outback Mirage Drive kayaks, perfect for fishing, spearfishing, snorkeling, and more. Your Cedros Tackle kayak adventure includes transportation to a remote location, either by Ponga or truck. While you are out fishing, the crew will set up a relaxing day camp, including a barbecue lunch. Have the kayak adventure of a lifetime without the work. You just fish and enjoy. Cedros Tackle can even take care of all your equipment. So for your next trip to Cedros Island, try a kayak adventure with Omar, Jeff, and the gang at Cedros Tackle. For more information or to help plan your trip, check the website at cedrostackle.com. Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Padres are playing some kind of baseball.
San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Information is the key to success, and inside information is even better. When it comes to fishing, inside information is critical, and that's what FishDope.com delivers. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and save fuel. FishDope.com is the only SST service with a satellite oceanographic PhD on board. The only fish finding service with a spotter plane. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com boasts the largest largest code group anywhere, covering sport boats, commercial boats, and private boaters. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. What I'm telling you is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, good luck. Membership costs less than 40 gallons of gas for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, stay tuned for the special code to save $20 on a FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel. What a tuna and yellowtail season last year. Many say the best in 30 years. Could this season be even better? Don't be caught without the right gear. Now is the time to stock up on the trolling lure that proved to be the best. X-Rap Magnum by Rapala. Every X-Rap Magnum runs perfect right out of the box. They all have extreme action and a controlled deep diving aggressive swimming motion. The large diving lip partners with premium VMC hooks and an irresistible rattle. The X-Rap Magnum by Rapala can be trolled at high speeds without rolling or kicking out at depths to 15 feet. Bottom line, the X-Rap Magnum is the ultimate trolling lure for Southern California and Baja saltwater fishing. With a textured translucent body, internal holographic foil, and 3D holographic eye, X-Rap Magnums are irresistible to saltwater game fish. Available in a variety of colors and sizes. No matter what you choose, the fish can't resist X-Rap Magnum by Rapala. Ask your local tackle dealer which is the hottest color and size and start catching more fish. See the entire line at Rapala.com.
Are you as excited about spring fishing as I am? The water stayed warm all winter, which means it's shaping up to be one of the best seasons ever to get out on the water. It's also shaping up to be one of the best seasons ever to visit your Ford dealer. The all-new F-150s are starting to roll in. With over 100 new patents, it's guaranteed to be a game changer. The new Mustang also has everyone buzzing. You've got to check it out. And the new Fusion, Focus, and Escape are better than ever. Fuel efficient and loaded with technology. There's as much interest in these new Fords as there is in spring fishing. In fact, Ford was the most searched automotive brand on Google last year. And once again, it's America's best-selling brand based on 2014 calendar year sales, which makes Ford the brand more people search, buy, and buy again. There's a lot to be excited about this spring, whether you're after tuna, yellowtail, halibut, or a brand new Ford. So visit your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.